So welcome to Trust the Process show. Host Chris Reed here. I'm super excited to be joined by Patrick Cote. Patrick, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. So Pat, you're in the car right now. We kind of quickly spoke before this, but you're just getting off some training right now. But before we get started, Pat, kind of wanted to connect with you and find out, before we get started, for people that don't know you or even not sure where you're at since you left mixed martial arts, who are you and what are you doing right now, Pat?
I'm enjoying life, man, without punching my face. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. No, seriously, I'm taking care of my family. I have a little daughter that's gonna have 2 years old in the next September. So it's pretty cool. And I have a lot of business since 4 or 5 years. I was preparing my after career. I have a real estate business. I have a lot of investment left and right. I have a big sport complex. I'm the owner of this Expand Center here on South Shore, and I'm working a lot of French media here in Montreal. So I'm still pretty busy.
Yeah, it sounds like you might be more busy than before. You're just not taking hits to the face as much.
Looks like that, yes, but it's less painful, so that's good.
There you go. So Pat, the premise of the show is trust the process, and since where you started off in the military, and now, if you think back, even when you went to, did you do basic training in Saint Jean?
Yes, exactly. That was my rookie course. I was there.
So if you think back to that time, Pat, when you went to Saint Jean and basic training, and kind of where you're at now, what does trust the process mean to you in order from like where you started as a recruit, shaved head, going into basic training, right, marching around, to where you are today with a family, successful? What does trust the process mean to you in order to get you where you've gone with your goals?
I think that's, the military part of my life gave me a lot of, not self-confidence, but just, doing the right thing at the right time, in the right order too, just to be more focused about what is important in life and what it's not. Serving in the Army gave me a lot of life experience that, I can't share this experience with a lot of people. I have my friends from the Army and I have my friends from the other side. It's very hard sometimes just to mix everybody together because we didn't live the same thing, So that's the thing. The process of the like you said, at Saint Jean, the recruit course that today that affect my life. That was just taking the right line and being focused on, having a plan, a plan, not the plan B, not plan C, just a plan, and just trying all the time to make the right thing to follow your plan A.
Smart. So what I'm hearing is, instead of, many people I think have many different plans where it's like if one plan gets a little too hard, they say, fuck it, and then they go to the next plan. But what I'm hearing of you is like, I got a plan. As long as even shit gets really hard, I'm still sticking to that plan no matter what. And using that discipline, it sounds like what you've taken from the military, to focus on what you have to get to in order to go and achieve that. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct. I didn't give myself the option to fail. Having a plan, a B plan or a plan C or something like that, it's giving you option to do another thing if your main focus not working. I didn't give me the option to fail on my A plan. I wanted to do that for sure. I took a different road, left and right. I had a lot of things of my plan, but I was sticking of my first idea, and that's why I think I had a lot of success of what I was doing in my entire life. I didn't give myself the option to fail. That was the main thing for me.
Gotcha. So, as you kind of move into like even, fighting, that's not a sport that many do because it sucks probably a lot of the time getting, beat up, right?
Yeah.
It's not glorified. I think people glorify fighting as, it's a badass thing, but you take punishment day in, day out. And as you fought some of the best fighters in the world, going into that, where does your mindset go? So how do you train your mind, Patrick, when, you're facing guys like, Tito Ortiz to your career, Anderson Silva, some of the best and hardest hitters, and you're going into a cage and you're going in to stand in front of millions of people to get,
Yeah.
potentially beat the shit out of, or you beat the shit out of them, hopefully in that case. But how does you set that mind to get your plan forward, knowing that you're going into war, and preparing yourself for that day of war?
For me, that was very clear that if you are nervous, it's because you have a doubt in your mind of something. I don't know why, but you have a doubt. So for me, not having a doubt in my mind and not getting nervous, that was in my preparation. If I didn't cheat of my diet, training, I did everything correctly. I did everything that I was supposed to do, and I didn't take any shortcut just to make my life easier. I was, I'm telling you, 95% of the time I was fighting in my entire life, in my entire career, I wasn't nervous because I was like, man, I did everything I had to do to be there. If the guys beat me, it's because it's the better man that night. It's not because I didn't do my job. So that was my main thing, my main focus of, if you don't want to be nervous, just not have a doubt in your mind that, oh, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. So now you start thinking and you start to, not being very convinced about yourself that you're ready to go. So for me, that was my mindset to be there and not getting nervous and perform, just doing the right thing in preparation before.
Right. So it's what I'm hearing. It's really the fight is just what you're working towards, and why you're saying it was successful is that you never cheated along the way and you didn't get shortcuts to try and reach success. It was the things that everyone else didn't see that you did, to stay accountable to yourself. So when you go into those moments that everyone else is seeing, you've done everything you can, and if you don't win, it's because the other person was a better man that day.
That exactly. There's always a better man somewhere than you.
Right.
Trust me. I've been there. Trust me. But that's the thing. I'm doing this sport. I was doing this sport to win for sure. But you know what? Sometimes just not your night. Sometimes it's just a lot of things can happen. There's a lot of things that you can't control. But what you can control, you have to do it right. You have to focus about something you can control, not focusing about something you can't control. And a lot of people are very focused on that. That's something they can't control. That they are gonna focus about what the opponent's gonna do to him. The difference of me is that I was focusing about what I'm gonna doing to him. That's very a different mindset. Or another thing. He was pushing me against the cage, and instead of saying that, oh, I don't want to go down, or instead of that, I was staying on my head. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay up. You have to work on that. You have to work to put myself on my ass, motherfucker. So the mindset, just this mindset, is very different about you confident about you gonna react in a real situation.
That's. I like what you said there. You're focusing on what you can control and not what someone else can control, because you can drive yourself fucking mental worrying about what someone else is going to do, because there's a million options that may happen.
That a million option, and I have a lot of friends out there were worrying about where the family is going to be sit in the arena. So I'm like, man, why are you losing energy to focus about something you can't control?
Right.
Or plain and simple. You're nervous about the fight. That's the only thing that at 100% it's gonna happen. So why you're nervous? Because it's gonna happen. You're gonna fight. So focus about more the strategy, more about the training, more about something else, because the fight's gonna happen. No matter what, the fight's gonna happen. So it is what it is. It depends. It's a long process. I wasn't like that in my entire life. I used to work with a sports psychologist that did help me a lot. And if I knew that, that's, I lost maybe 4 years, four good years of working with a professional like that, because it did help me and just, open my eyes about, how the thing can be so much simple than it was to.
Right. So working with a psychologist now, is there any other people? Because you've trained with some of the best of the world as well. Is there anyone that you look back in your career that's even helped you with some of that mindset or whatever it may be, moving into what you're doing now? That's kind of made a real big impact of how you either see things or approach things.
Yes, the advice I just gave you about the fight, 100%, you're 100% sure the fight's gonna happen. It's Matt Serra. Matt Serra is a good friend of mine, and he told me that, maybe that was in 2006, and I still remember today that he told me that, exactly the word I'm telling you, and I still remember that, and that was the first process of, understanding that you have to control what you can control, not what you can't control. So it's it's so much easier to go to fight or go to any situation when you're just thinking about, all right, this I can't control that, so fuck it, it's gonna happen or it's not, but it's not in my control.
Right.
It's so much easier. It's easy to say now, but I used to work a lot on that, and today I'm telling you, my life is so much easier, and every night I'm going in my bed, and I'm happy, man. It's like that, It's just giving you more happiness in your life, and for me, it's like that.
Yeah, I can see it in you, man. You look very happy right now and pretty relaxed. And I think what I'm hearing from that is what you can control is what you to worry about, and the rest is just energy that you're just taking on, and that's doing nothing for you. And
Yeah,
you only get
exactly.
so much energy in a day, so why give away energy on shit that is going to do nothing for you of value? And that's what I'm hearing. And that's when you made that switch from what Matt Sarah said. I saw it almost on your face. There was like a light bulb when I was like, fuck, it changed the way you looked at things.
Yeah, 100%, 100% sure. And there's another thing too, that in my sport, there's a lot of keyboard warrior. That's a lot of keyboard warriors, and a lot of at the beginning of my career, like 15 years ago, I was going on a discussion forum, and I was reading that, and I was getting pissed. I was like, man, what the fuck? You don't know me. Why you say that I'm a C-level fighter? I'm not good. I'm fat or whatever. So in the process of that, I did understand that I'm gonna put my time to take care of people who already love me, and not losing my energy to try to be loved by people who don't like me at all. So I don't need those people. If you don't take care of people who love you right now, you're gonna lose them. So you already have those guys, those people around you. So take care of them and fuck the rest. Seriously, it's like that now.
So it's just protecting your tribe, right? And how big do you think your tribe would be, Patrick? Like the people that are really close. So you got your family you mentioned that are close, but you know what is your circle? So people like listening to this as they're trying to work through their own shit and get their shit together. Like how big's your tribe? Is it hundreds of people? Is it just a handful of people?
Working in the media, being here, in Quebec, in Montreal, for sure, I know a lot of people because of what I'm doing, because of what I did. But seriously, my close, uh, not neighborhood, but my close relation of people, there's not a lot of people, maybe five or six. It's very important to keep those people very close to you, and that in my sport, that if you lose, those people is going to be there anyway.
Right.
There's a lot of people that are there when everything's going well, and it's good. You have money, you have people, you have girls around you. It's after party. But when you lose, they're like insects. When you turn on the light, they're just they disappear. Like what the hell, man? I had like other people around me like
Sure.
2 months ago, and now I just have like 10, 12 people around me. So you understand when things not going very well, you see your good friend.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And then kind of going into that is I think as we kind of have goals and we work towards these goals, Patrick, we have to really be in tune of like our reasoning why we're doing something and maybe the vision of what we're trying to achieve. So like for you, like what is that why that like, even moving out of MMA, like it might have been at one point the goal was to become champion, but there must have been a deeper level of why you did things, and even moving into your new part of your career and your life. So why do you get up every day, and what is like that main purpose for you that keeps you motivated day in, day out to go out and perform whatever it may be at your best?
Today it's easy for me because I have a little girl now. So for me, it's
Cool.
everything. It's about her. You know what? I'm doing my first triathlon next week, and it's it's a painful event. It's not fun at all. You know, I don't receive punch, but it's hard to the body. But for me, keeping my mind healthy and my body healthy, as long as I can to take care of my family, as long as I can, it's very, very important. I'm doing that for myself, for a personal goal, but at the same time, it's keeping me alert, keeping me in good shape. So it's like that. I want to be the best person as I can be for my daughter, for my family. Now it's very different. Before, yes, that was a MMA training. I wanted to be the number one. I wanted to be world champion. But I took my retirement because I knew it that this option wasn't there anymore. So I was like, all right, I still have a couple fights on my contract, but now I'm getting hit more and more. I don't need that to live right now. I prepare my after career, so I just took my retirement in my own term, and that was the thing. I was there to be a world champion, to have another title fight, and that wasn't the option anymore. So I was like, why put in my body in that pain, of training, of dieting, I had 11 surgeries, in my body. So my body is a lot older than my real age.
Sure.
But you know what? It's like that. That was the passion of the sport. But at the end of the day, at the end of my career, I was like, yes, you're right. When you ask yourself why, maybe it's time to move away and doing something else.
Great, well said. And I think a big thing too, Pat, and I saw this on your Facebook. There is, you also seem to give back too, and I see that you're now the spokesperson for the wounded veterans.
Yes.
How's that experience been for you? Because that's something obviously where you started your kind of career in the forces there. How's that helped you kind of feed your inner desire? Yeah, it sounds like it's probably outside of just making money and becoming rich and famous, but it's something more than that. So maybe tell me a little bit about
Yeah.
that for you.
Yeah, I love that cause. It's brand new. I didn't have the chance to do a lot of things for them. In September 6th, it's gonna be our first big thing together. But I wanted to be a spokesperson for that because I used to be in the army, but I know a lot of people. Not a lot of people. I know 5 or 6 guys. They are very, very in a bad shape right now. Post central dramatic, something like that. I don't know in the English how to say that.
PTSD.
But yeah, exactly. So,
Yep.
and I have one of my friends who were in the GTF, and now he's fucked up seriously. And it's bad because they didn't have the service after to take care of them, or if they had it, that was too late already.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. So we want to discuss. It's very, very important. There's a new house, new house here in Longueuil, close to Montreal. It's Central Montreal. They just opened last week, and it's for the veteran. That's pretty nice, and nobody knows that. So I think it's very important that if I can help with my name, with the contact I have, with the media I have, to just to talk about this foundation, just to talk about this cause, and people's getting more alert, or just open their eyes about, man, this is tough, man. When you go somewhere and you kill people, or you see people dying on the floor and on the ground, and you can't do anything, you have to be very, very, very strong mentally when you come back at home and just living your life normally. So it's not everybody who are very strong mentally like that, but at the same time you can't judge, because it's a hard work, it's a hard thing to live, and we have to take care of those guys.
Absolutely, man. I 100% agree. It's something that it's, sits with me too. I'm fortunate enough where I didn't have, coming out of the forces, probably like you, it sounds like didn't get too fucked up in the head, but I do know a few guys too that they struggle day in, day out. And I think people often forget about the sacrifices these guys
Yep.
and ladies make when they go
Oh yeah.
overseas, right? And they come back and they're expected to just go back to normal as a civilian and get a 9 to 5 job and pretend like nothing ever happened or what they saw never, discount what they've seen. So I tip my hat to you, man. What you're doing there is a fucking phenomenal cause, and I'm glad to see that someone like yourself who has some credibility with his name and his experience to bring light and awareness to that cause. Now, for anyone listening to this or watching this, how can they maybe get involved with that cause, Pat?
You know what? You can go on my Facebook page on
Okay.
Patrick Cote with the little blue mark.
Okay.
So you can see that probably in the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna talk more and more about that because September 6th is gonna be our first big meeting with the media and everything. But there's already something on that page that you can click and you just follow the link and just to learn more about this cause because everybody know what is it, being a little bit fucked up when you're coming back from a tour with the army, but nobody know exactly the cause. Nobody know. They know the name, but they don't know what the symptom. They don't know what it is. The real symptom that you're in your house and you just hear the bell somewhere and you're getting aggressive, you're getting very violent, but you're not supposed to be violent. You've never been like that, but it's just your body is in your head. It's out of control. So if you want to know more about this cause, just go to my Facebook page, and you're gonna see the link there. You're gonna see the thing that I'm a spokesman for this cause, and more and more you're gonna see myself talking about that, and talking about all the events gonna be for the rest of the year.
Beautiful. That's fantastic. So we'll definitely check that out. And Pat, before I let you go, you got the big first triathlon coming up. What's
Yeah.
your goal for yourself? You're a guy who sets goals. Do you have a time or a place that you're looking to finish, or are you just looking to finish it?
For sure, I want to finish it, but I trained since 2 months for that, and I have a time in my head. I know I'm not gonna win that, but I'm not going there to finish last for sure. I'm
Okay.
competitive,
Yeah.
so I watched the result from last year in my group of age, and I put myself in a range of time I wanna finish, and right now it's about that. I want to finish around 2 hours and 35 minutes. That's my goal. The main goal is to finish before 2 hours and 45 minutes. But I'll be very, very happy if I can finish that in 2 hours and 35 minutes. So we'll see. And after that's gonna be another thing.
Beautiful, man. Well, look, I appreciate. I know your schedule's smoking busy. Appreciate you taking some time today to connect with me and talk about your process, where you've been, and it's great to see where you're headed to.
Thank you very much, man. Have a great day.
All right, you do, Pat. Thanks so much.
Bye.